Folks, I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of the NFC South Roundtable. I think
Why?
that's one of the most up-and-coming shows we got on this network. Right before we came live on this show, was watching Berto and TJ just go at each other for about an
Oh,
hour and some change. I got to tell you, man, like that show is really picking up steam. I'm liking it. Same thing with the NFC East. Like they had this Patreon caller that just stirred the pot. It was absolutely insane with the Jalen Hurts comment. Had Simone going crazy. And surprisingly enough, Kid Blue, our Giants representative, he was the one that actually ended up smacking that softball out of the stadium and doing what we wanted him to do. It's a great week of Roundtable Sports content, man. Listen, I am enjoying everything we're putting out on this network. I'm not sure about you guys.
well, go ahead, Richie.
No, you're good. Good.
Well, the reason why I was like, why? Because, I get my divisions mixed up because NFC West been talking trash, that they about to have more viewers than the AFC East. So, we got to get on top of that. Yeah, but
well, it's because we set it up on our AFC East and they're watching us. Yeah. They're like, oh, see, they're scared,
They're watching. They set us up for that.
They set us up.
Of course. Yeah, man. Listen, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of healthy competition. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, within our network as well. Yep. And shout out to the NFC North Roundtable because they just hit 6,000 subscribers.
Nice. Wow. Man, yeah. Shout out to them. Are there any NFC North fans in the building? All right, let me know if you're rooting. I know that we have a couple of Vikings fans that tune into this show. I feel like we need to do a better job of forcing the host to let everybody in all of those divisional shows know about this show right here.
Yeah, we should have a fourth and forever ad.
That's true.
We do need a fourth and forever ad. Z-Bot, have no fear. We are going to be reaching out to you momentarily. Guys, as you are coming in, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up sign for us. With each and every single one of you that tune in on a regular basis, we sincerely appreciate that. Say that you enjoy it, even in the slightest. Just do us a favor and hit that thumbs up sign. Let's propel this bad boy out to the YouTube algorithm so we can invite even more family members into the show. Guys, we finally ended up getting an update on the Rashee Rice situation and the potential suspension that he should be serving in connection to the traffic incident. I think that's probably one of the most lightest ways of referring to it. However, it looks like that Rashee Rice's actual court date is not going to be until by week 4, September 30th. Meaning that if he does indeed get a suspension, that means that it would not be until about midway through the season. In case you're curious, I took the liberty of pulling up the Kansas City Chiefs schedule for this year. And I'm sure Chiefs fans are happy, right? Like you have the Chargers week 1, the Eagles, the Giants, and the Ravens, which are presumably the 4 games he will be active. But then following that, they have the Jaguars, Lions, Raiders, Washington Commanders, the Buffalo Bills, and the Denver Broncos. I want you guys to put yourself in Kansas City Chiefs fan shoes here. Would you have preferred for Rashee Rice to be suspended for the first 4 games out of this season? Or would you have preferred what is likely going to come to fruition where he is going to be unavailable midway through the schedule? Thoughts on this?
Is it because they're going to give his judgment in week 4 or something?
No. So normally the NFL doesn't hand down sanctions until they hear from the courts. Mm-hmm. He's not even having his court date until well into the season.
Huh, interesting. That's weird and interesting. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm the type of individual get it out of the way, because if you're not going to have it until well into the season, you never know. Sometimes, court proceedings are delayed. You could show up at court and then there's another day push for a month and a half or so. So I'm that type of individual. Again, get it out of the way. But I understand the NFL wants to know, how the court sees it, what's his punishment and everything along those lines, to get the factual status of what he actually did as far as from a legal standpoint, what he's actually guilty of versus just, speculation. So, yeah, this is tough. If I was him, I would be asking for a speedy trial situation and to get this out of the way as soon as possible. But hey, the court has delivered their date, I guess, and he got to wait. So I would prefer early on.
So it's not like Kansas City is unfamiliar with life without Rashee Rice. Like last year, I think we all forget that he missed literally the entire season on an injury and was activated, I think, toward the last two regular season games and then obviously into the playoffs where I think he was slowly but surely just slowly implemented into the offense. But Richie, thoughts on all of this? We also saw that the same judge that handed down the Deshaun Watson suspension is presiding with this case as well, if that means anything to you. Richie, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it should have been the first 4 games, and then he's ready to go for the rest of the season. I know that they're waiting and being patient for the actual hearing, apparently, but hey, man, it's just an interesting spot that they're in as TD disappears again, like last night. Yeah, I think it's definitely an interesting situation that's going on, and as you can see, September 30th is the day. So now we just got to wait and see. And this has been a long, drawn-out process. I feel like it doesn't take this long usually when there is some type of issue with a specific player. But it's taken a while, and the NFL is going with the system.
It's going with the system, man. And you know what? For the first 4 games, at least they have one of their best wide receivers for the gauntlet. With the exclusion of the New York Giants, I'm pretty sure they have some pretty tough matchups specifically. Richie,
are the Giants tougher than we think, though?
Are they?
I don't know.
Are they? Okay, so
I just saw them.
That
twice.
coming from a guy who hates the Giants, right? Like,
who just watched them in practice 2 days straight.
Oh yeah, you know what, dude? Like we were sitting there talking, right? Like we were sitting there talking a little bit, so about what we saw from the Jets. But then a big question mark team is obviously the New York Giants. What exactly did you see from the Giants that's making you think they could be better than people are giving them credit for?
I mean, it's not something that people don't already know, but seeing their defensive line up close and personal they're living up to the hype, if not exceeding it in my brain. Like, dude, the way that they're using Abdul Carter, it's ridiculous, right? Uh-huh. He is not lined up on the edge the way that they're using him, all right? And that's something that we have to talk about. And they're going to utilize him all over the place. He's been lining up off ball. So you got Brian Burns on the edge. You got Kayvon Thibodeau on the other edge. And then you got Abdul Carter off ball, who's just looking for a one-on-one matchup. And there's something to be definitely interested to look at when it comes to the Giants' defensive line this season. But the question is, can they get a lead? Because if their offense can't get leads, then this pass rush means absolutely nothing. But the Giants are built on this. All their Super Bowls were built on their defensive line. So, not saying they're winning a Super Bowl by any stretch, but that's usually their culture as an organization, is their defensive line.
So I got to be honest with you. I completely forgot that Brian Burns was on this defensive line.
Yeah, dude. Brian Burns
and
is
so
insane.
I know that was a big thing last offseason, but then, of course, the Giants were the Giants. Is this the best defensive line in football?
I do think so. I mean, absolutely. I don't think you can... After they got Abdul Carter, it's like, okay, you got Abdul Carter, who's a generational talent, in my opinion. I don't say that term lightly. And then you got Brian Burns, who's an elite edge rusher. Kayvon Thibodeau, who has not lived up to the hype, in my opinion. And then Dexter Lawrence, who's one of the best interior defensive linemen. And they drafted Darius Alexander in the mid-rounds. So, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they all work itself out.
Yeah, like this is... So with their 3-4, you have Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns. You have Abdul Carter behind Brian Burns. Okay. All right. I feel like that won't last very long. But, like, yeah, like with Darius Alexander from Toledo, he's an absolute stud, like you just mentioned. Here's a question and here's a comparison. And maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here because the NFC East is without a doubt one of the most competitive right within the NFL. But is there a world where they could maybe take a page out of the Pittsburgh Steelers book? Because that's what the Pittsburgh Steelers were last year. Like,
yeah,
was a team that...
The Giants issue, though, Dan, that makes me hesitate on this is just as good as they are on that side of the ball in the trenches, they're worse on the other side of the ball offensively.
Yeah.
They got Greg Van Roten as their starting right guard. He should not be starting in this league. He just shouldn't.
God, he was a Bill for a while.
Yeah, and their only positive to their offensive line is hurt and always hurt, and that's Andrew Thomas at left tackle. If Andrew Thomas gets hurt, they will be literally the worst offensive line in football. He's their only good player. They had a draft bust of Evan Neal, who's supposed to be a right tackle. Now he's kicked inside. So, yeah, man, the Giants, they're an interesting team. But the problem with the Giants, Dan, have you seen their schedule?
I have seen their schedule.
Their schedule could be – they have the hardest schedule in the NFL.
The Giants?
The hardest. Yeah. Look at their
It's
first 10
brutal.
games.
So,
I don't think you see a
we
win.
were just so we wanted to catch you up here, TD. We got onto the New York Giants conversation, and we realized how, hands down, they probably have the best defensive line in all of football. It's crazy. With Abdul Carter, same thing with Dexter Lawrence. You have Brian Burns. You have Kayvon Thibodeau. Crazy-ass pass rush. But then we said equally as bad is the offensive line. And I got to tell you what, is that not the exact same dynamic as what the Pittsburgh Steelers were last year? Was basically just a team that was so quality in pass rush that was able to provide their offense with quality.
With Russell Wilson at quarterback.
With Russell Wilson at quarterback. And I'm not going to say that the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line was worse than what the Giants is right now, but it certainly wasn't top 15 or top 20 in the league at all last year. Do they potentially end up taking that step of being the Pittsburgh Steelers this year? But then Richie ended up mentioning, let's take a look at their damn schedule. Wow, dude. Holy hell. I'm sorry, Kid Blue. Have the Commanders, followed by the Cowboys, followed by the Chiefs, the Chargers. The Saints might be a win. But then the Eagles, the Broncos, the Eagles, the Niners, the Bears, the Packers, the Lions. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's tough, man. With no offensive line, the best defensive line of football.
4 wins.
Four?
At
Okay.
best.
Yeah, what's going to make or break their season is their offense needs to score points, because if you give that pass rush a lead, that's when you can start winning football games. But that pass rush could be absolutely just negated if their offense is doing nothing. I mean, you also have to get them in obvious passing situations as a defense. You got to get them in second longs. You got to get them in third down and longs. If you can't stop the run, you can't unleash the pass rushes. So there's a lot of nuances that comes with taking advantage of an elite pass rush, and they have to be able to be on that. And Brian Daboll did a great job his first year with the Giants to get them to the playoffs, and I think that's what he's going to try to do, simplify the offense. And I think Russell Wilson is better than some people give him credit for. He's obviously not an elite quarterback, but he's a winner. He's a gamer. He knows how to push the ball down the field. He knows how to get the ball in his playmaker's hands. He's an intelligent quarterback. He can still make plays with his legs. He can still move around. And they got Malik Neighbors, and he is, in my opinion, like going to prove to be a top 5 potentially receiver this year if he stays healthy, which, by the way, is not healthy right now. He has a toe injury. Who he did not play in the joint practice because he was running away from Sauce Gardner. He's terrified of Sauce, but that's another conversation to have.
So you got to think, too, like when you look at all of this, with how bad of their offensive line is, does that mean that Jackson Dart gets an earlier opportunity than what we think? Because Russ is not anywhere near as mobile, and Dart is. He's got the size profile, right? Like, he can take hits. I hope that he learns how to slide. It's just something with young, big quarterbacks, it takes them a little bit to actually know that and understand it. But what did Dart look like in practice, Richie? So did he keep up what he did during the preseason game, or no?
Unfortunately, both practices I attended, I was not able to see any of the Giants' offense because there's 2 fields, and the field that was in front of me, both practices, was the Jets' offense versus the Giants' defense, and then the far field, which was beyond my observation, was all there. So I can't give you any observations of Jackson Dart. I did see both defenses win at the end when they scrimmaged. They did a drive the field drill, and both the Giants defense stopped the Jets, and the Jets defense stopped the Giants. But I unfortunately was not really able to see Jackson Dart. But apparently he did have a few touchdowns and a rushing touchdown, but then there were some plays that the Jets got the better of him. But yeah, I wasn't really able to see much of the Jets defense in these practices, more of the Jets offense. And the Jets running game was fantastic, but the pass attack was definitely a little hit or miss.
Passing attack. Well, TD, so with that offensive line in mind, would the Giants be much better off going with Dart than Russell Wilson if Daboll truly wants to win games this year?
Man, it's not about winning games. I mean, look at that schedule. You can't set a rookie up like that and already have the fan base down on him. Jackson Bedard can be a good quarterback, but he's not going to be able to express, show how good or bad he is with that O-line. But here's what I will say. You have to just let that kid learn this year behind Russell. Only because, like y'all know me, ballers ball. Put him out there. If the team is ready for him, but I don't think the team is ready for him yet. They still got some things they need to fix over there. Nobody's looking at the Giants. Like Patrick Mahomes can go to the Giants, and are we expecting them to go to the playoffs? And that's the point that I'm making here. This is more so about making sure that you solidify some of the other positions on the team to give them a healthy setup to start out. Now, you don't need an elite offensive line. You don't need the greatest of great, but this team has a lot more issues than that.
Yeah. $20 donation. Shout out to my boy Scott, and who's always in here rocking with us. I was watching First Take. Stephen A. was talking about the Buffalo Bills going to the playoffs the last 5 years, and Stephen A. said, Sean McDermott's why they're not making it past the Chiefs because of Sean McDermott's play calling.
I did have First Take on this morning, was not listening, but I looked and their lower third topic was, is Sean McDermott on the hot seat? And I want to bring that up. That was
Sean
on First
McDermott
Take.
on the hot seat. Say that it was 13 seconds game for sure. Like that right there was a gaffe by Sean McDermott, was the 13-second game, because you can't run prevent defense against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. That was just an absolute gaffe. But I do think that sometimes your play calling is limited to the personnel that are called to execute. And I feel like y'all can call it an excuse however you would like. But for the past couple of seasons, like you end up watching the Christian Benfords of the world fall. He's no longer in the game. And then you see Patrick Mahomes attack that side of the field, right? Something you should do. Like that's what you need to do when you're an NFL quarterback. Make sure you attack those weaknesses. That's largely why I think they got so much offense going, was because of that drastic hole. Big drop-off from Christian Benford to Kyer Elam. He continuously attacked that side of the field, and they were able to score 30 points for the second time all year in 2024 because of it. So the year before against the Kansas City Chiefs, we had this dude that was literally on the couch as a linebacker, A.J. Klein. Like, we had him come back like the last regular season week of the game, and then we asked him to guard Travis Kelce, like, during the game. And what happened during that game? Of course, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, they found our weakness, and they pummeled A.J. Klein and the linebacker room all game long, and they won. So while play calling does play an effect, sometimes you just need the personnel, right? It's the same thing. It doesn't matter, like, how good your equipment is, right? Like, say it's not good how talented you are in any facet of life. If, for example, you have outdated equipment, you're going to be limited to so much. So I'd probably say it's more so of untimely injuries, lack of quality when it comes into depth players, not particularly like play calling, at least for the past 2 years, in my opinion.
Well, shout out to Scott for the $20 super chat. That's massive. We appreciate it. Tony with a $2. Damn, that hat.
I'm
real,
sorry, man. I'm sorry,
especially
dude.
after last night's game, bro. Come on.
Hey, you know what, man? Just go on ahead and send me over a Mets hat, right? Like, send me over a Mets hat.
Why?
Sure
It ain't no
it's
good either.
Dude, you know what? I am a baseball casual, like I said, right? I just maybe like watching every now and again, and so I played
A lot
baseball.
of Bills fans
By
are
the
Mets
way,
fans.
Fun fact, I threw heat, by the way, bro. I threw gas. Sick-ass knuckleball, too.
Juan Soto
Yeah,
is gonna make us the best. Well, ain't even first in the division, Dan. It's sad.
Oh,
Not yet.
Oh my God. All right, we have Roundtable Sports from Craig Bryant's coming in saying, Roundtable Sports should have an in-division bet where if a team is swept, they have to wear the other team's hat for an episode, coming from a Finn fan. So we did that a couple of years ago. That was actually the first Dan and TD bet right in the history of this network.
Dan cheated.
Where TD had to wear a Bills shirt during his next live game reaction against the Buffalo Bills. Some of the best memes and pictures I've ever seen from that. I mean, I suppose we can do it. We should do it network wide. So we should do it network wide, like Craig has said. being like, hey, like what we do need to do is sort of like have bets with everybody, so they have to like wear the opposing team's memorabilia. I don't believe that I ever did have to wear any Dolphins memorabilia. Maybe once I had to, like where TD had me like read like some letter to Tua or something like that when y'all like
we
won
beat
that
you.
week 3 matchup.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, I'm sure you have that clipped and you watch it every morning.
That's right.
But it's, yeah, dude, listen, we are fine with all of this. I'm fine with public embarrassment. I really am, especially on this network. That's what we were built on, baby. Scott is coming again with another super chat. By the way, guys, we do have a Patreon hotline for you Patreon members. If any of you guys like have anything, any burning topics that you would like to get off of your chest, please feel free to call in. If you don't know what Patreon is and you want to be a part of it, go on ahead and sign up. It's only $10 per month, and you also get a bunch of really cool exclusive content. Sorry, Dan, for the low blow. I am a Buffalo Bills fan too. My bad. I don't think I seemed mad or anything like that, man. Dude, no need to apologize. I sincerely appreciate the
Thank you,
$5.
Scott.
Thank you, Scott, man. You are the man. All
You
right.
noticed that TD disappeared last night, though, right when...
Yeah, what happened to you
Yeah,
last
he just
night?
disappeared right when the Jets get brought up because he's scared of the Jets. Like, it's like for some reason...
Come on, man.
I waited an hour and 45 minutes to bring up the Jets, and then right when we started talking Jets, he's like, man, I don't want to talk because I see what's coming with the Jets, so I got to run away.
He's
See,
like,
what was
yo,
that about?
I gotta go.
You're scared of the Jets or something? Why'd you run when we talk Jets football last night?
I got a very important phone call, Richie.
What was that?
Sauce Gardner hit me up. He was like, I'm feeling like I'm falling off. I can't play the position anymore. I said, man, just go out there and hold people. You'll be a Pro Bowler. That's it.
It's actually the
Just go out
opposite.
there and just go out there and do what God made you to do, baby.
Being there,
Man,
Glenn
Hold
called me,
those
told me he
wide
wanted to
receivers.
quit.
Hold those wide receivers, man. Damn. All right. You know what, dude? Listen, we pride ourselves. So we pride ourselves on trying to give you as accurate reporting as possible across the NFL. But mistakes happen. And look what we ended up seeing just earlier this morning. Hold on. Let me share my screen here. Look at that. Look at that, folks. A terrible typo. A terrible typo from a local Atlanta. Oh, my God. But anyway, I did kind of want to talk a little bit about Michael Penix because I do have a theory. I'm not rooting
Michael who?
Penix.
Michael who?
Penix. All right, Penix. However, you still have Kirk Cousins on the bench right now. Like, you still have Kirk Cousins on the bench. He's getting paid a lot of money. Here's an interesting question. How short of a leash does Michael Penix have this year? Knowing that Kirk Cousins is still on the bench, he's probably one more full year of recovering from his Achilles injury, which he sustained just 2 years ago. How short of a leash do you think that this team truly has on Michael Penix, and is there a world where we could potentially see Kirk Cousins taking snaps due to a lack of performance from Penix this year? Richie, thoughts?
I like Michael Penix. I understand that it was a very, very small sample size. I think that his leash is longer than we think because Kirk Cousins is behind him, like, let's not forget, Kirk Cousins struggled in his offense last year. Now he's in another season with it. Maybe he gets a little bit better with the scheme. But the Falcons want him to be the guy, and I think they're going to give him some wiggle room to figure it out. Or they go the Bryce Young effect. Remember last year, Bryce Young gets benched, and then Bryce Young comes back after being benched, and he was fantastic. But I feel like you should give him a long leash because I understand that football is it's such a, you got to play well, but I'm such a believer in, like, the greats learn from struggle. Like, you got to go through some form of adversity in order to really become an elite level player. And if Penix starts struggling, I think the Falcons got to allow him to struggle in order for him to figure himself out, because this is technically his rookie season in my books. He how many games did he play last year? Like 3 or 4, like maybe even less. If he goes out there and starts struggling, he has so much talent around him that I think he's going to be able to get over it. And, like, dude, a big sleeper this year that nobody's talking about, in my opinion, is Drake London. Like, Drake London may be the most slept-on receiver in all of football. Like, when you talk about the league's best younger type of up-and-coming receivers, his name never gets brought up. it's never get brought up. He was in the same class as Garrett Wilson, and I think that he is somebody that's going to be – he was drafted ahead of Garrett Wilson, by the way. The Falcons drafted Drake London over Garrett Wilson, and I think that he's going to be a monster this year. He's someone I would draft in fantasy.
Drake London. I'm curious now. I'm going to pull this up.
I had him in fantasy last year, and he was pretty quality for me.
Well, he's seeing, right? He's seeing an improvement each and every single season. 866. And last year, holy hell. I'd say the quietest 1,200-plus yard season
So I'm saying
for a wide receiver, perhaps in NFL history.
Yeah.
Why have I
I'm
not
making
heard
it
this man's name more?
Well, that's what you got me,
39
Dan.
long,
I'm the sleeper guy. You know.
He's the sleeper guy. Is Drake London that dude this year? We will see. And then again, I'm not buying in. I'm not buying into that propaganda.
No.
I'm not buying into that. I've been burned too many times about Kyle Pitts in fantasy football, my friend. I can tell you that. But TD, thoughts? Is there going to be
Short leash.
a short leash on Michael Penix this year? Since Kirk Cousins is on the bench.
There's not going to be a short leash, but it's not going to be a long one. He faces the risk of getting Bryce Young. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Because you got a good team that is geared up to win the division. Not saying they will, but they have enough to compete for that division. So if you come out struggling, they could sit you down and say, hey, let's go with Kurt, because we got to try to make something happen for the year. And then if things don't happen in that case, they'll put him back out there. And if he starts out well and then he has 2 or 3 bad games in a row, they may go to Kirk too, because we started out well. Let's salvage this season. Try to see if we could do something and get a last little spark out of Kirk before he's no longer here next year. So I think that's what's going to go down. Michael Penix just got to be lights out for the most part all the way through. He got to make it to at least week 14 playing lights out. And when I say lights out, it don't have to be perfect, but playing overall good football. Yeah, you're going to have your ups and your downs, but you got to be playing good football by the end of week 14. If that's 13 games, you got to have this team possibly 7-6.
So I got to tell you what.
You got to at least be there.
So I got to tell you what. Talk about a test for the Atlanta Falcons. So you open up the season against Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Surprisingly enough, the Falcons did sweep the Buccaneers last year, although they did not win the division, but they did sweep them. Still a test. Have that Minnesota Vikings defense he's going up against, which I think is probably going to be a bit of a challenge. Have the Panthers away. From what I understand, it sounds like Bryce Young and Ted McMillan are establishing that well-needed chemistry, followed by the Washington Commanders, Bills, San Francisco 49ers, Dolphins. That's a win. So I could see a world. I could really see a world that if Michael Penix doesn't end up performing in these first 4 game stretches, I could totally see Kirk Cousins being thrown back out, and so against the Buffalo Bills. But let's see what he can do. I'm not rooting against the young man. I'm just saying.
You have no energy towards the Falcons, Dan. Atlanta Braves fan. Georgia Bulldogs.
Hey, dude, I have no bad energy. Well, okay, so in my defense, right? I was born in Buffalo, and all we have in Buffalo is the Buffalo Sabres and, of course, the Buffalo Bills. Had to remain loyal right to those squads. Moved down south. Vast majority of all my friends were like, oh, you have to be a Braves fan. So I was like, okay, whatever. So that explains my unique sports fandom rooting for. Not all of us are lucky enough to live in New York City, Richie, where you have a sports team for every single professional sport. You know
you know what, Dan? I appreciate your story because it makes sense. TD's story makes no sense. He didn't move to no Boston.
About what?
He didn't move to no Boston.
The Celtics?
You didn't move to no Boston. You have no right to be a Celtics fan.
Boston.
That's why he's high in the Patriots, Dan. Oh, it makes sense now. Because he likes the city of Boston, and he wants the Patriots to be a good team this season because of his Celtics, because he knows they're connected.
I don't care for the city of Boston. I don't care for the New England Patriots. I'm just the Boston Celtics fan. It is what it is.
Oh, how do you even say that out loud? How do you
Because
say you're a Boston
that's
fan?
one of the best teams of all time. You know, they know what championships are.
Yeah, it's called
That's why I don't
front runner.
understand
Yeah, I'm
why
also
Dan can be a fan of the Bills.
I'm
They
also
don't know what they do.
a Kansas City Chiefs fan and a Philadelphia Eagles fan now because they're the best teams in the league right now. That's what you sound like, TD, when you say that.
Stop, Rich. You hating?
Front runner.
Yeah, Nick's
He's hating already. Well, I'll tell you what, man. We have our first Patreon call-in for the day. Glenn, good morning. Or, excuse me. The afternoon. Good afternoon. Excuse me.
Yeah. So, here's your exercise.
TD's going to fail. Listen up, TD.
Yep, listen up. Usually 5 to 6 teams are taken out of the playoffs each year. You get 5 or 6 different, in most years, 5 or 6, it changes. So, your exercise is you have to take 3 teams out of the AFC and 3 teams out of the NFC and replace them with 3 teams. But one of those teams has to be a division winner that was a winner last year. Now, you don't have to do it all on one thing. You could split them up. But so one of the has to be a division winner that will not make it to the playoffs this year. So that will be your 6.
Okay, so
3 in the AFC and 3 in the NFC, and then one in each one. It has to be a division winner that was a division winner last year that will not make the playoffs this year.
ooh, I love that. So we have to pick 3 teams from the AFC and the NFC that will not make the playoffs, but one of them has to be a division winner from last year. Glenn, we love you, man. Thank you so much for this. Luckily, I have a visual for us to look at. Let's start off with the NFC. So my 2 easy ones, my home run picks for the NFC, is going to be the Giants will not make the playoffs. I think we can all agree there. And then I think the Cardinals as well. I am nowhere near as high on the Cardinals as TD Finstock is, perhaps.
I don't think that was his question.
Well, like he wants to pick one
this time.
division. So one division winner from last year per conference, but then 2 other teams. I believe he also said that we have to pick a team, or maybe he said playoff team.
No, this is what he said. There were 7 playoff teams in both conferences. Usually every year, a new 3 get in on both sides. What 3 do you have not making it from last year, and one of them has to be a division champ?
Yeah, so I pulled up the playoff bracket from last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we get an exact.
So I can go
seeding.
first if you want.
Go ahead, Tony. Seems like you're all over this one.
Yeah, because I had to focus this time. All right. So the team that made it last year in the NFC, that was a division winner, that I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, because I know the Eagles are gonna make it. They were a division winner. The Bucks should make that can be the Bucks too. But
It's
I'm gonna
between
go
the Bucks and the Rams for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rams. In the
I'm
other
shocked
2
with
teams,
you're both are very, 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 very low on the Lions. I'm shocked that's not your pick.
no, it's not. Yeah, because the Patriots cooking Minnesota out there. I don't know what's going on in practice. But the other 2 teams that won't make the playoffs for me in the NFC would be I gotta go with Green Bay. And I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Green Bay and Vikings.
Told you how much Sam Darnold means. All of a sudden, you're the biggest Viking disbeliever now.
Stop it, Richie.
What's changed besides that?
No, he's forcing us. I don't think that's gonna happen this year. I don't think 3 teams aren't gonna they're gonna be
3
replaced.
teams, one of them has to be a division winner. Yeah. So I'm saying for this, I'd probably have to Bucks, Vikings, and Packers.
Yeah, the Packers are an easy one. I don't see them making the playoffs this year as of right now. I don't think the Rams are winning that division either.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the Vikings. I don't think they're going to have a season like they did last year at all.
Then he asked what 3 teams can replace him.
Yeah, so the team that's going to replace them.
For me,
Falcons
yeah.
wild card bar.
Yeah. So for
I'm so high on
mine,
the Panthers.
with a division winner, I'm going to go with the 49ers right now. I'm changing tune on them. I'm going to go with the 49ers.
And the easiest schedule in the NFL, by the way, the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah. And then the other two teams, I'm going to put the Cowboys back in the playoffs.
Which I don't hate it.
And one more, I'm going to go with.
Come on, TD.
This is tough. Who else can make it?
Seahawks.
No, come on.
No, Richie, stop.
Not the Seahawks.
I'm still gonna go out on this dumb limb of mine and say Arizona.
Arizona.
Oh, come on. The Seahawks are way better than the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Man.
So I do want to say, for the point of the exercise, I do think the Bucks and the LA Rams are going to be in the playoffs. I genuinely believe that the Packers will not be. But say that we had to pick three that wouldn't. Say that comes to reality, then I'd probably pick the Panthers for the division. That replaces the Buccaneers, and the San Francisco 49ers that replace the Rams.
Is this a little like trauma for you, Dan, to see this? You see that 32-29.
No, man, I'm pretty desensitized to a lot
See
of
the
these
Super
scores
Bowl
now.
champion banner not being the Bills.
Yeah, well, hey, man, listen, I've had quite a bit. I've had quite a bit of experience.
Good problem to have, man. I wish I can see my Jets somewhere on this graphic. Maybe
Yeah.
someday.
It's got a banner.
AFC is going to be a little more interesting. The wild card teams. I don't know if the Broncos are going to make it.
Yeah, I'm knocking the Broncos out.
I'm knocking the Broncos out. Could the Jaguars win the division over the Texans?
I gotta go Texans.
Yeah.
Texans to remove them?
It's literally the worst offensive line in football.
Yeah, I gotta go
according
Texans
to
as the
PFF?
division leader. That's out.
Yeah.
Steelers, I think, is going to stay as a wild card.
Yeah, I think Buffalo's out. Yeah.
Okay.
For the exercise, I mean, that's the next team on the list. I mean, the Ravens are better. The Steelers.
We got a
are
Broncos fan in the chat. Jose says you crazy.
Crazy.
better. Chargers are better.
Crazy.
Chiefs are better.
I have the
Yeah,
Bengals going to the playoffs this year. Dan doesn't.
Yeah, I got the Bengals getting in. I got Miami
Dan's in
getting
denial.
in. Miami winning the division. The Bengals getting in, and one more team.
TD, stop with the Miami winning no division. You bet.
And
You
the
best
Patriots
believe.
in the wild card. I got the Patriots in the wild card.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Delusion.
Okay.
We wanted this to be delusional free exercise.
This is delusional free.
You just said the Dolphins are winning the division after you're sitting there last night with your head like, man.
Hey, we got to bounce back practice today, baby.
trash.
We smoked the Lions today.
We
trash,
man.
today.
Somebody run the
Haven't
clip of
even.
last night of TD crying like,
they got us in
man.
the mouth yesterday. We got
I'm
up.
surprised that wasn't. All right. First off, I'm really surprised that was not clipped and circulating on Twitter already.
Because they don't want to talk about the success. See, they don't want to talk about the success there.
TD was defeated.
I was talking about your rant last night.
Oh, well, listen.
Yeah, no, I was talking about
if I
your
wasn't
rant last
busy This
night.
morning, I would have been tweeting all the good stuff, but I was busy.
right.
But listen,
Um,
we back. We back, baby.
For me, and I am so sorry, Jose, but I'm probably also going to have to remove the Broncos from this equation here. I've since hopped off of the Broncos hype train, and so I'm excited about their defensive additions. But then when I ended up really unpacking their schedule last year, like their performances against playoff teams or on the verge of playoff teams, with the exception of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, they did not win a single one of them. And when they did get into the playoffs, they got absolutely blown out. Didn't really have a shot against many other playoff teams last year. I don't really see much changing. When I look at a sophomore slump candidate for the 2025 season, I feel like Bo Nix is the easiest answer for me. It's going to plague somebody. No, it's no offense, but like that's where I'm at with the Broncos. Probably pick the Chargers too. I'd probably pick the Chargers just based off of where teams are, and then I'd probably go with the Texans as well. So the Broncos, Chargers, and the Texans. Yeah.
All right, TD.
And this is just this is just for the sake of the exercise, by the way.
I gave mine, Richie.
Nah, man, you're just delusional. Kind of threw out this whole exercise in the trash after your nonsense.
He threw
You know
it
what I
out.
mean?
Yeah, well, thank you for the exercise, Glenn. We appreciate you. The absolute man. But let me tell you what, guys, if you are serious about winning some fantasy football, you got to do us a favor and you got to go check out RotoWire. Folks, if you're serious about winning your fantasy football program, I highly recommend you go on ahead and you check out RotoWire. It is your assistant general manager during your drafting process in all of fantasy football. It is hands down one of the most in-depth mock draft simulators, draft kit, with some of the most advanced analytics you've ever seen in your entire life. Are you curious about how your running back performs in cold weather or your quarterback performs in cold weather? How they perform against 3-4 base defenses, 4-3 base defenses? This is going to tell you everything you need to know going into your fantasy football season. You have a very intelligent AI assistant that helps you and holds your hand throughout your fantasy football draft so you do not make any mistakes by maybe reaching for a player far too early, for selecting a player that has a bunch of injury red flags. RotoWire has been my best friend for my preparation in fantasy football, and as long as you end up using our code RTS, you will receive 15% off of your purchase. A small price to pay to end up living in fantasy football infamy throughout your leagues this year. Fantasy football drafts are starting in literally about 2 weeks, I would imagine. So go on ahead, lock in, and start doing your research like an absolute pro. Shout out to RotoWire for being a proud partner of Roundtable Sports all season.
Bang.
Bang, bang.
Excited, man. We got to get our league set up.
We do. We got to run it through Sleeper, I think.
For sure.
I feel like Sleeper's got to be it. All right.
Hey, Dan, we're not going to talk about a quarterback that's struggling in camp to make basic throws.
Who would that be?
Oh, I was just wondering if we were going to talk about it all.
Well, who would that be? TD. Oh,
what's going on here? TD know how to use solo cam all of a sudden?
Dude, he's a technical genius overnight.
Tell us about today. Come on, man. What happened?
No, apparently Jets are not allowed to be talked on this show or AFC East. I had like 5 minutes 5 minutes out of 2 hours last night. We talked about the Jets. The Jets are abandoned on this show apparently, so we're not allowed to talk Jets apparently.
Richie, you got the floor. You got the floor.
Hey, listen, we all have fun with the Dolphins and TD, but I got to tell you, TD, I do think you're about to enjoy this clip I'm about to show you right here.
Oh, he saw it.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay. All right. Okay, here's the highlight tape. Someone start blasting some hype music. Yo. This is bad, man. Oh no, this is bad.
Oh, and they be talking about Zach Wilson.
Oh, dude, I just imagine some hype up. Yo, what's the music? And the music makes it better. All right, so this guy comes in and he says, a lot of people are panicking after seeing this Justin Fields cut up. Here's why not to. We have some coping. We have some coping here. We already knew that Fields is inconsistent from the pocket, and this offense will get him on the move in games. His rushing ability is the ultimate equalizer. All right, Richie.
Throwing the ghosts.
Yeah, I mean that clip is
That's
exactly what happens when there's no context behind anything, because I was at practice and they just didn't show the 4 or 5 touchdowns he had in 7-on-7. He did. Just saying. Like that, like my point is, when you see a clip like that with no context, that's what he was doing all practice when he wasn't. But hey, listen.
Just sprinkled in, huh?
What I say yesterday about practice. When things go bad, you want to laugh at it. When things go right. So listen, Justin Fields, and by the way, am I looking at that shocked? I'm at practice. I see this. I mean, I'm tweeting everything I'm seeing at practice. Am I shocked? No. Justin Fields has been known to struggle with accuracy from outside the numbers. So, like, this isn't like news. This isn't like, what? Justin Fields, like, is struggling with accuracy outside the numbers? Like, he has struggled with that throughout his entire career. So this isn't like breaking news for me. The thing about Justin Fields that makes him a difference maker is that ability to run, and the Jets will utilize that. So this isn't like anything that's shocking to me at all. So,
what do you got on that, TD?
It's a good answer by Rich. See, Richie's protecting himself. How
am I protecting myself?
No, not in a bad way, Richie. I'm just saying, you're like, hey, I expected this. It is what it is. But man, it's just, I don't get it. Like, y'all literally paid this man not a itty bitty money. Now, I wasn't crazy money, but y'all invested, like, let's try to turn him into maybe a franchise quarterback. Let's see. But I just don't know if that's going to happen. And the Jets, y'all might as well realize that y'all going to be looking for a quarterback in the draft over the next 2 years. I don't know if you're going to do it next year or the year after, but that's going to eventually happen. Fields has a ceiling. I don't ever see Fields becoming Lamar Jackson. I don't ever see Fields getting into that category where it's like, man, this guy is it. See this stuff, a few in between. I know we putting some of the highlights up now, but man, the bad plays are so bad. Like, I don't even see receivers in the areas of the bad plays though. And that's what's even more concerning. So we'll see, man. We'll see how the season turns out.
And this is what it's going to be all season right here. Running. He had a long touchdown run, and then he had another keeper for a 50-plus yard rush. And that's what Justin Fields is. This offense will be built around Justin Fields' strengths, which is RPOs, read options, quick throws, handing the ball off to Brees, handing the ball off to Braylon Allen, keeping it himself. And, the big concern I have with the Jets is if we are down and we need to come back and have a long drive and we have to start throwing the football, that's where this Jets team is going to be in a big situation of not being a successful football team, which is why I said last night, the path for the New York Jets to be successful is an elite run game and elite defense, because I don't have a lot of optimism in the pass attack, and I never said I would. I never said that I have any optimism in this pass attack because I think it's going to be a giant learning curve for Justin Fields.
So I got to ask you what? So a Jets adjacent topic. Should Aaron Rodgers be participating in the preseason? I feel like I got to ask you this because it was just announced that Aaron Rodgers and most starters will not play against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Saturday. Sounds like he hasn't been getting a lot of reps during joint practice either. I'm curious, is this the smartest move for this QB, or do we trust him to be able to hit the ground running on week one? And I'm going to pull up the Steelers' schedule.
This is perfect because my prediction for the Steelers is they start off slow and they get their steam going at the end of the season. That's a week one L for the Pittsburgh Steelers because there will be nothing but rust, and this Jets defense is going to be smothering him because the Steelers' offensive line is booty. The Jets' defensive line is going to be ready to go. Jermaine Johnson's back. Woo, baby. Oh, I love it. But listen, I think that they should be in the preseason. I don't know why they're not in the preseason. That's a big... I know they're scared of injuries, but I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be flirting around 500. They're going to be like 3-3. They're going to be 4-4. And then I think by week 10, that's when they're going to start going on their run and then make a push for the playoffs. That's my prediction for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year.
So I got to tell you what,
with
I feel like it's every single year with the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's every single year with this team where the league backloads their contract like crazy. Backloads their schedule, excuse me. Starts off easy. I'm sorry, Richie, with Jets, Seahawks, Patriots.
1, 2, 3.
Maybe Vikings, Browns for the most part. Cincinnati might be tough. Green Bay should be a win. Colts, etc. But as soon as when November 30th gets around, you have the Buffalo Bills, you have the Ravens, have the Dolphins, the Lions, the Browns, and the Ravens to close out the season. And that's something that Pittsburgh is regularly complained about how these NFL schedule makers always have them like with an absolute gauntlet at the end of their season. TD, thoughts? Yeah. Should Aaron Rodgers be getting his reps right now, or is he completely fine?
He's completely fine, and it's Aaron Rodgers. He's earned that right. And even for no one to question it. But here's what I'll say: they shouldn't complain about the schedule. You know why? 8 games seem like you're going to automatically be favorite. You have 8 games on your schedule that if you're the team you want to be, you're going to win. So when you look at the other 9 games, can you go 1 game under 500 to win 12? I mean, that's an easy schedule to me. If you're a contender, then those 8 games you take care of business. And the other 9 games, all you got to do is win 1 less than half, which is just 4 more out of the 9 good teams. So I see the tough schedule as a 9 really good teams you play, but also 6 of them are division foe. I mean, well, at least 4 of them are division foes. That's tough. So can you win 4 out of those 9 other games and then you get 12 wins? Come on, man. That's a favorable schedule in my opinion. If you're going to be a contender, you got to at least be able to win 4 out of those 9.
We have Tom Brady's 7 rings with a $7 donation. He's saying, by the way, Rich and the Pats are 2-1 in the playoffs versus the Jets. So enjoy that 1 win. Just put on a Brady jersey and join us.
Well, Jets are undefeated against Tom Brady in the playoffs. How about that?
Damn. A healthy O-line and Tua equals Fins in the playoffs. Damn.
TD, do you agree? A healthy O-line? Is a healthy O-line even good?
A healthy O-line is not good, my friend.
A healthy O-line would be
PFF
the
came out with the
backups.
rankings, and your offensive line, fully healthy, is ranked like 28th in the NFL.
Well,
I probably wouldn't.
No, if they live up to what we hope for them to be, because what they're not doing is ranking Patrick Paul, who's a 2nd-year guy. They're not ranking Jonas Savanayo, who's a rookie. See, they're not ranking those guys. They're not going to give them credit that they haven't earned yet. And those guys are pretty good. They have been the stars of camp. And if this O-line can be what we hope they are, the thing that I don't like about this comment, a healthy O-line and Tua equals Fins in playoffs, is the fact that, yeah, we can go to the playoffs. I mean, that's who we are. But can we win a playoff game? And that's where I keep telling Dolphin fans, because they list their list of laundry and say, if Tua stays healthy, if the O-line plays, if this happens, if that happens. And what sometimes I try to get them to understand that even if all of that happens, what are you going to say if we lose in the first round of the playoffs?
Run it back.
Yeah, that's what's crazy to me. Like that, like a lot of people don't realize we still haven't proven to get over the hump against a good team when it matters most. Not the random week 3 versus Buffalo or week 5 versus Baltimore. I'm talking about when it matters most at the end of the season to get in or the first round of the playoffs. We have been absolutely abysmal. So yeah, I don't care about getting in the playoffs. Give me a playoff win.
And you have to realize in most years, 5 to 6 teams do not make the playoffs the year after they make the playoffs. And usually one division winner does not make it.
Yeah.
Usually. Man, dude, you know what? So many question marks what this team is going to look
Glenn!
like. Glenn, shout out Glenn, man. You know, he's a Patreon contributor, regularly throwing down, hooking us up with some super chats. Guys, we appreciate you, man. Right now, well over 200 people in this live chat. As always, you guys know that we are live Monday through Friday at 1:30-ish each and every single day. If you do us a favor, just go on ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on bell notifications. That's going to have to do it for now. Keep in mind, we have the Bills Roundtable this evening at 5 p.m. EST, as usual, and the College Football Show at 6 p.m. EST, in which that I will still be planning for the rest of the afternoon. Stay tuned for that. Richie, what do you have to say to the audience before we set them free?
Yeah, man, week 2 of the preseason is here, and I know that we're probably not even that excited anymore about preseason ball because we got that itch. Now we're like, all right, give us the regular season, but that's coming up soon, less than a month and away, and we're going to be talking real ball. We're going to be seeing all these storylines reveal itself. All this offseason talk is going to be revealed, and then we're going to go back into the offseason mode afterwards. So we appreciate everybody tuning in. Hit the like button if you guys enjoy the show. We appreciate you guys supporting Roundtable Sports' Fourth and Forever every single day, baby.
Don't you wish our life away, my friend. Let's salvage this regular season topics to discuss. DD, what do you got?
Again, as always, thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Please let your friends and family members know that we are live Monday through Friday here at 1:30 p.m. All right,
Ish.
listen, yeah, because of
Ish.
Dan Mitchell, y'all. It's because of Dan. But yeah, man, we'll be back tomorrow. I can't wait to see you all here on Fourth and Forever.
All right, guys. We'll see you a bit later tomorrow, same time, same place. Peace.